I can't think of anyone better qualified, given you're the only trans member of the panel now, to respond to what our two liberal friends are saying.
I'll be trans if you'll give me a chance to talk.
You've had so many shows.
There's something
on trans
actually
people,
there. There's something there, Dave.
It's always some gay person that's talking on our behalf. So I'm really excited today to talk about how everyone...
We're about to have a look at David Pakman, who's looking a little rough these days. I know he lost like 10 or 20,000 subscribers in the last week, which I understand he's gained them back by now. I mean, the dude has over 2 million subscribers here on YouTube, which is a disgrace. And if you agree with that, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to this channel, please, because I'm only at a measly 25,000, which actually I'm completely grateful for, but he is about to get schooled. David Pakman is about to get schooled by Piers Morgan, Dave Rubin, and Ben Ferguson, and even a trans activist who David Pakman always seems to be virtue signaling for, right? He's fighting for trans rights, they call it, which I don't know what the difference is between mine and your rights and a trans right, but which to me, a trans right is actually special privilege. They want access to girls' sports, girls' locker rooms, girls' restrooms, etc., right? And while all this is going on, Brian Tyler Cohen sits there like the little weasel that he is, smirking, and basically, from what I understand, he lost a bunch of subscribers when David Pakman did post-election, and he is still yet to start gaining them back. So congratulations to those of you who unsubscribed from Brian Tyler Cohen, which, to be honest, I wouldn't expect many, if any, of those folks who would subscribe to Brian Tyler Cohen's channel to be watching this video or watching my channel. But hey, I mean, everybody's welcome, right? I guess. But anyways, this one was fun to make. I think you guys are going to enjoy it, so let's get right to it.
Before I come to Dave Rubin, I actually want to bring in an extra guest, the former Democratic congressional candidate, Brianna Wu, who is also a trans woman. Brianna, welcome to Uncensored. Yeah. I can't think of anyone better qualified, given you're the only trans member of the panel now, to respond to what our two liberal friends are saying.
I'll be trans if you'll give me a chance to talk.
You've had so many shows.
There's something actually there. There's something there, Dave.
It's always some gay person that's talking on our behalf. So I'm really excited today to talk about how everyone here is wrong. David, I love your show. I consider you a friend.
I can't be wrong.
You and the Democrats are completely wrong about what trans people need. We don't need you advocating for, trans vaginoplasties in prison. We need to retreat back to the basics of what we need, which is HRT and healthcare. And the problem is the Democrats have been captured by this fringe left that has redefined what trans means to all this non-binary nonsense and all this stuff that has nothing to do with how we got our rights in the first place. Ben, you can appreciate this. I was the first trans person to ever transition at Ole Miss, our alma mater. That was very, very different. It was 20 years ago, toddy. And the thing is, the way I got equality and got people to respect me in Mississippi was not by screaming at them or lecturing them about my pronouns. It was getting them to see my humanity. This is something trans people have just completely lost. And the problem is the Democratic Party is unwilling to call out these bad actors. And because of this, we are having a conversation that does not serve trans people. Piers, I am begging you on this show, stop inviting these stupidest leftists on to make the argument for trans civil rights. Let some people actually understand this stuff. And Dave is laughing because you understand integration as a gay man. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You've done the same playbook your whole career.
Well, this
works. This is
first off, I'm only gay starting at 10 p.m. What time is it? We'll have to check on that. But actually, you're completely right.
Does anybody find it ironic that this person who transitioned over 20 years ago is calling David Pakman fringe? I don't know. I think doing surgery to yourself, like the manner that this person appears to have done, would be pretty fringe in itself. But the fact that they're up here calling David Pakman fringe pushes him even further to the fringe. It's pretty funny. And, you can still see the identity politics. This person is obviously a Democrat. Granted, given the introduction that that person is a Democrat, but still you can tell simply by the identity politics that they played when they said, Dave Rubin as a gay man. And he, of course, played that off and said, I'm only gay after 10 p.m. or whatever, because it doesn't really matter to a normal person. It only matters to the people that play to the fringe. And so, I don't know. I just found that ironic that this person who's obviously on the fringe called David Pakman fringe lunatic. You got to love it, right?
Brianna, you're completely right. What's happening with the left is that these saviors, these progressive warriors that you see in these boxes here, think that they know more about these people than they know about themselves.
Absolutely ridiculous.
And by the way, this has nothing to do with a well-funded evil money machine that the Republicans were doing. There's something called boys and girls, and
Rubin's
they are
the right
different.
guy to talk about
and
that,
most
isn't
parents, Most parents, oh God, you're such a smug prick. Listen, most parents actually want to defend their daughters and don't want them to have the crap kicked out of them by boys, and they don't want them to be playing boys in soccer or any of these other things. That is a defense of girls.
Correct.
If someone, as an adult, 18, 21, we can discuss the age, wants to dress how they want, have any surgeries, take whatever drugs, do whatever they want with their body, most people, even Republicans, don't object to that. And
Correct.
I have no problem referring to Brianna as she, because I can clearly sense she would treat me with respect and I'll treat her with respect. And it's a two-way street rather than pandering and bowing to a bunch of people that could not give a crap about anybody else.
Yeah, and David, hang on, let me bring in
yeah.
David Pakman again, because you were very quick when I asked how you felt about being so wrong about this, to accuse me of being misleading, disinformation, misconstruing a United Nations report. So because we're a very nimble team here, while you were talking, they just went and double-checked, because I was curious what you were talking about. And we found, we found the United Nations report. And it's not a footnote, as you said, it's page 5 of the report. It says, and I quote, "The United Nations says nearly 900 biological females have fallen short of the podium because they were beaten out by trans athletes. The findings were compiled by the UN's Rapporteur on Violence Against Women, entitled Violence Against Women and Girls in Sport. The report said more than 600 athletes didn't medal in more than 400 competitions in 29 different sports, totaling over 890 medals. The replacement of the female sports category with a mixed sex category has resulted in an increasing number of female athletes losing opportunities, including medals, when competing against males," the report said. So, David, again, would you like to now apologise for being not only wrong about this being an election issue, but being wrong about your correction when I asked you if you were sorry for being wrong?
Look at the underlying source, Piers. I have it printed out
it was
in
a
the other room.
It wasn't a
Look
footnote.
at the
It's page
underlying
5.
source.
It's page
now,
5.
I do want to say one thing about this. I actually agree with a lot of what Brianna and what Dave Rubin said. I actually agree with it. I am not the savior here to do X, Y, or Z for trans people. What I'm saying is I don't actually think I even need to play that role. I don't think this is the issue that maybe you think I believe it to be. So I agree with a lot of what Dave Rubin and Brianna said there. I do think it's important to consider that when Dave Rubin talks about well-funded this or that, his Russian money source just dried up.
Oh, there it is.
He's the last person who should be talking about funding sources. And to be honest, Dave, hold on a second. Hold on. Now Ben's jumping. Everybody's jumping. Hold on a second. I can't even hear. But why would Ben jump in? I'm not even addressing Ben. I think Dave's a little upset.
Hang on.
I think Dave's upset that Brian and I passed the
You made a very direct charge against Dave Rubin. Let Dave Rubin reply to that.
Because no one believes your BS anymore. Jesus Christ, these people are so pathetic.
They've been indicted, Rubin. The Tenet Media people were indicted.
I got indicted.
He was not indicted. And it said in the report, if you weren't a smug prick, to quote him
I
earlier,
didn't say Rubin was indicted. I just said the money dried up.
That Dave Rubin and the others involved did not know about it. And this is why people think you're kind of a jackass.
Yes, this is why everyone hates
you. You're putting words in my mouth,
This is the reason why you read the report. And by the way, Pakman, if this happened to you, and in the
Ben's
report it said you were unaware, if it said that you were unaware, I would defend you, because I don't think you indict people for things.
I'm defending Dave.
Says in the indictment, in the indictment,
I'm defending
they had no knowledge of the money where it was coming from. So don't be a
I'm
jackass.
defending Dave on that note, but the money dried up.
Pakman,
you're being a tool, man.
You are no real Pakman, which I'm quite good at.
He called him a tool. And of course, the trans individual wants to get back to talking about themselves. I don't know. Look, if you're an adult and you want to do these things, I think it's weird. I think it's a waste of money. But by all means, be you, right? Okay? Just leave the kids alone. And like I said, be you. Don't infringe on the women's rights by trying to enter their sports and disguise it by saying trans rights, okay? Because like I said in the intro, I believe that trans rights, what these people are claiming it to be, is special privilege because it infringes on women's rights in women's restrooms, women's locker rooms, women's sports, etc. So give respect to the women who aren't transitioning and don't have anywhere else to go as it relates to their sports, locker rooms, bathrooms, etc. Okay? Just be you. And I wish you the best, and I hope and pray that you will all find Jesus. But on a side note, I gotta say, I really like Ben Ferguson and his opinions, but every time he is on Piers Morgan's show, he sounds like he's talking through a speakerphone, and he constantly interrupts and completely just makes the conversation a yelling, screaming match when he interrupts with his crappy microphone. So please, Ben Ferguson, I implore you, if you ever go on Piers Morgan again, which I'm sure you will, please just spend a couple $100 on a microphone and use it, and then wait your turn to speak. It would make the conversation flow a lot better. We would have been able to hear what Dave Rubin said there when he was clowning David Pakman at the end, and would be able to have heard what you said as well, which it turned into a jumbled mess, and Piers had to wrangle everybody up and silence them. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video, and also I want to mention that I go live every Wednesday and Saturday at 6 p.m. I'd love to see you there. Join the Discord, all that good stuff. And if I don't see you there, hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video.